Hey guys, so I'm going to be talking about my client Hey Hey, who has been diagnosed with dyspraxia. So let's go ahead and get started. So for my client profile, as I mentioned, our client's name is Hey Hey. He's an 11-year-old male diagnosed with dyspraxia, and we're going to be working with him in a setting. Obviously, it's the pediatrics, but we're going to be working specifically in a private pediatric clinic. The frames of reference that we're going to be using during our activities is sensory integration and motor control and learning. So a little bit of background about dyspraxia. The was basically it is a difficulty with motor planning and the inability to plan unfamiliar or novel tasks, which often results in a clumsy and awkward response, as well as a maladaptive response. Some characteristics of it is the individual is going to have a difficulty with handwriting. Obviously, some fine and gross motor skills will also be affected. And they're also going to have a difficulty sequencing and timing of events, of motor tasks. They're also going to have difficulty with relating body to space as well as the physical objects around them. And milestones will be delayed, such as tying their shoes by the age of 6, as well as other developmental milestones. So for activity 1, we are going to be working with drawing because that is one activity that Hey Hey does like, but it's something also we can use to help develop the fine motor skills. So this implies that we are going to need our paper, markers, pens, pencils, crayons, erasers, slant board, desk, chair, and obviously hand sanitizer, because he's going to have to use that before he touches the materials as well as after. So in doing this, we're working on sequencing of events, what are the proper steps he needs to take into attempting to draw this picture. We're also going to be working on, controlling his voluntary movement, as well as modifying the picture to be drawn the way he wants it. And so the adaptation that we're going to use to address this is a slant board. And basically what these do is helps improve positioning for when the individual is learning how to draw and write. So what we really want to do is, like have him find out the first steps, what he needs to do in terms of gathering materials, and then determining what he wants to draw. In this case, he wanted to draw the caterpillar, and then using the pencil and eraser to kind of make an outline of the picture. And then when he is satisfied in what he wants to draw, then that's when he could use colors, the crayons and markers to fully get into detail with that. But he really needs to learn how to pace himself in terms of trying to not rush the fine details and coloring, because we really want to work on that. So for activity 2, with the sensor integration aspect, we are going to be teaching them how to ride a bike. So obviously, since they are clumsy and they do tend to have some issues with balance, protective equipment is a really big thing that we are going to need, such as knee pads, elbow pads, and a helmet. And we're also going to want him to have the proper tire, because we just don't want him to have tight clothing while he's riding a bike. We want him to be comfortable. So for the adaptations, we're going to use 2 bikes during our sessions. But for this activity, we want to see him first ride a bike with training wheels. And what that's going to help is with stability and just getting him comfortable or riding the bike. Then that way you can also work on manipulating the handlebars as well for turning. And then we're also going to be training his balance and coordination. After that, we're going to be using a balance bike, and this is how really helps improve their balance and coordination, because he's going to be using bilateral coordination of both feet to help himself go forward, as well as stopping himself as well. So he really needs to know how to establish that balance and initiate the task for that. But since we are doing that, we are training his balance and coordination, because as a child, his occupations are more about play and being like this, just a student. But obviously, since he's 11 year old, his main occupation just play and leisure. So he does like to draw, as I previously mentioned, and just like try to ride a bike. So while doing this, we're establishing ways that he can work on balance and coordination with all that. So that's my presentation. Thank you so much.